Anyone starting a new relationship should be able to find out whether their partner has a violent past. It's the idea behind Clare's Law, following the death of Clare Woods, murdered by an abusive ex-boyfriend she met on Facebook. It was only after her death that George Appleton's history of violence, abuse and kidnapping at knife point was disclosed. Now the former Home Office Minister Hazel Blears is mounting a campaign to try to stop it happening again by allowing police to warn people about their new partner's criminal history. The Home Secretary Theresa May is said to be considering the idea, although others are advising caution.
I would not want to see information on demand at the police station, which, as I have already said, could be open to misuse. I think go ahead, but go ahead with caution, and let's get the detail right before implementation. The Victims Commissioner, Louise Casey, and the Association of Chief Police Officers are both backing the proposed new law. Earlier I spoke to Clare Woods' father, Michael Brown. He's playing a big part in the campaign. Michael Brown, what happened to your daughter was absolutely awful. Do you feel that there is something simple that could really be done to remedy it?
Well, I've been advocating and taking along Mrs. Leeming, the coroner for Bolton, who between ourselves come up with a suggestion that ladies in domestic violence situations should be given the right to see if the partner that they have has a past history.
So this wouldn't be just a question of a woman checking up on her new partner at random. This would be as a result of beginning to suffer domestic violence.
Most certainly.
Did you know that Clare was suffering in this way?
I knew Clare was being hassled, and I asked her to come home.
And how long a period was it that you knew that?
When she asked me over well, I asked her over at Christmas, and that was possibly 6 or 7 weeks before my daughter met her death.
So that if in that time she'd been able to go to the police and say, please tell me, is this man a recidivist? Is he somebody who's done this before? Her life could have been saved.
Most certainly. There are predatory males out there, bless them. They're few and far between. But although today I learned there is a list of about 25,000. So
it would be managed rather like the sex offenders?
Most certainly. Yeah. I've never had to phone for Sarah's Law. It hasn't affected me, and until such time as it does affect you, I see no reason why that information shouldn't be passed on, so you can make an educated assessment of your predicament and will I stay or will I go.
And how confident are you that Clare's Law will become law?
I've just come from the Houses of Parliament and I was cheered immensely. I've been touched by the amount of people out with your studio who are full of kindness, who are full of aspirations and willing to help me along the path that I've sadly found myself on.
Michael Brown, thank you so much for talking to us.
My pleasure, thank you.
And a brief correction. During Alan Johnson's interview with me earlier, he mistakenly said the Met's former Assistant Commissioner Andy Hayman had worked for David Cameron. He meant to say that Andy Coulson was working for the Prime Minister. We'll be live in Westminster tomorrow night at 7 as the Murdochs give evidence to MPs. Until then, from Bridget, from me, that's Channel 4 News. Good evening.